evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Net on the 08 machine. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts who take to the airways with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a cross-band repeater and split-band images at 1.2 gigahertz. So I'll take a pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact on the 08 machine before our net gets fully underway. Here now, again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. So far this evening we have checked 87 QKU, Jessica KF7 UHK, Bert N7CS, Bob T9TQ, Richard K7ITX, Wade W7ITL, and Jim N7QO. Is there anybody else that'd like to join in? Hearing none, we'll see if we can get the net rolling. Let's start off with Ron, 87 QKU. Okay, good evening, everyone. I guess Richard and Dave and Bert, Bob, Wade, Jessica, and I guess Jim's out there. Anyway, this is Ron, KD7QKU. Well, let's see. That's exciting. I started packing up the garage. I packed up all the stuff in the garage that was radio related. I'm taking a video here. I'll show that a little bit later. And I did talk to a real estate agent that I've been talking to the last year, and he's coming over on the 18th, and we're going to get the ball rolling. We got to get pre-approved so we can buy something. So tomorrow I'm going to start packing up my fishing stuff, and then the next thing I'm going to do is start packing up this thing. Anyway, back to that, KD7QKU. KD7QKU, right. If you check the repeater, it seems to be frozen up on the bars and ID inputs for some reason. I'm not doing that tonight. Someone else is. Okay, well anyway, what's happened is also on the ID output. So let's get a better whenever anybody transmits 1.2, of course, it turns the repeater on. So that takes a minute to shut down. KD7QKU, fine. Let's go to Jessica. KF7 UHK. KF7UHK, I think the easiest way, I think we talked about this before, is if you're going to move, try to have a place to move to long before you have to move out of the place you're in, so you can get settled. And I like just to take only the stuff I really want to keep first. And then when you're done, you kind of look at the place and say, you know, I could lose that, and it wouldn't hurt me because I've got everything I've got up at the place all ready to go. And that was one of the things we did when we came to the condo. It made it really easy to get rid of things and kind of square down things and just kind of move stuff that we hadn't been using for a long time. So that was our plan. Anyway, I'm going to pass it back. Just got off another Zoom meeting with some folks down there from Social Bay and other ham radio folks, and that's always fun to do on Wednesday. I'm going to pass it back. This is Jessica, KM7 UHK. KM7 UHK. Let's go to Bert, N7CS. Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Let me turn my laptop volume down. Let's see, I don't know if the switcher is going to switch over to the ground stream input, but yeah, don't have too much to say right now. Oh, there I am. Okay, hello. Yeah, the only thing I really can think of right now is earlier today, I saw an eagle sitting down on one of the trees near my house, and I went to go get my camera to take a picture of it, and my batteries were not charged, so they were dead and unusable. So I was not able to take any pictures of this nice eagle that I saw that was near my house, but maybe another day. But anyway, this is Bird and Mary Show, M7CS, back tonight. Let's move on down to Bob, K9PQ. But it looks like we're not seeing anything but the ID tonight. So I'm curious who is doing the switching if Ron isn't. Do we know who's doing it tonight? Oh, there I am. Now why do I see bars and no signal? I made some adjustments here and maybe I got something wrong. But okay, well, I guess that was on me. For some reason it's not seeing my signal. Let me just make sure I saved it here. Yep. Okay. Don't know what's going on there. Well, yeah, I guess my big question is who's doing the controlling? And I will throw it back to Net for now. I'll pick it up next time around. K9PQ. K9PQ, thanks for that. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX. Okay, well, I think you guys can hear me okay. If I've got this figured out correctly, I'm going to guess Wade is our switcher tonight. Ron is not doing the switching, and Wade and Gary are the only other ones that I know can do it, and so thank you, Wade. So it's our dry run tonight. Have someone other than Ron do the switching between RF and ground stream. So there you go. Yeah, beautiful day today. I don't know. Mika got a really nice long walk, and it was nice. And well, I had my jacket zipped all the way up, but it was still very, very nice and warm as I strolled, in the direct sunlight to stay out of the shade. Let's see, we hit 54 degrees, and we had a low of 30, and right now we're at 42, and future forecast is telling me it's going to be sunny with a little bit of clouds, but it's sunny in the next 12 to 24 hours. So, or clear, I guess that's probably what it means, but it shows a bright sunshine on my future forecaster. I'll just send it right along. I've got a couple of things to share, but might as well just keep the ball rolling. So with that, KD7ZYN, K7ITX, back to net control. K7ITX, let's go to Wade, W7ITL. This is W7ITL, switch. Let's see if I can get my video in there. Looks like it's coming in okay. Let's see if I can see myself. Well, I didn't have anything prepared for tonight. We have a little barbecue/birthday party going on tonight, and my sister-in-law's husband had his 32nd birthday, and we made hamburgers, and we made my daughter made cinnamon rolls, and it was pretty good. Both my sister and her husband are both vegetarians and vegans, so we made Impossible burgers, which are quite good. I don't know if anybody's tried that. But I'm going to bounce it back to net, and we'll call it for this round. W7ITL, wait, thanks for that. Let's pick up Jim, M7QO. M7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, good evening, everyone. Yeah, let's see. Dick, I got to 32 degrees overnight here. Right now I've got 42 degrees. I can't tell you what the high was because I'd have to go back to the house to see that number on a different thermometer. I remember what the low was this morning, and I peeked outside and saw a generous amount of frost over certainly all of the grassy areas. Not a whole lot of frost on bushes or trees, but a whole lot on the grassy areas. Otherwise, a really nice day. Unfortunately, I was kind of stuck inside doing miscellaneous things around the house, but they had to be done anyway. Matter of fact, I've got several more days worth of stuff to do. One little comment, I am not receiving anything on the 1.2 gigahertz downlink. If someone could tell me, let's see, Ron, you're probably able to get that okay. I know about it sometimes. Anyway, if someone could tell me if they're receiving anything on the 1.2 downlink, I'd appreciate that. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
In 7QO, I noticed that the watch ID is up and there was a light image of you coming through. I'm not getting you 1.2 at my house in Lake City. And again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. I'm Dave, KD7CYM for ID. And again, I might say it was a beautiful day out, enjoyed some sunshine outside. I've got 44 degrees outside. I think the rain has gone away for a while. I did get out to Costco today up at 200th and Aurora and had to do some shopping, and I noticed they set up for COVID vaccines in the facility at Costco at 200th and Aurora. They have eight inoculation stations, and all of the verbiage says you have to contact Costco.com and get an appointment to come in and get a vaccine if you want one there, providing you, I guess, you have to be okay to do that. So anyway, that I noticed, and there was all of the vaccine stations were filled up when I was at Costco, so that was kind of interesting. So that's about all I've got to say there, and so I think I'll send it back up to Ron, KD7ATS.
Okay, thank you very much, Dave. I'll see if I can put some video on it. So it was, I think it was 37 degrees. So there's that roll of hard line, and that's Joanne standing beside it. So that's how big it is. Those are the other two. They're 65 foot or something like that. So anyway, there's the stuff I started boxing up out in the garage. That's that rack, that shelf over there was full. Now it's all in the boxes. And that shelf over there was full, and it's all boxed up. So that red cart and that yellow motor stand, and there's two 4-jacks there and another motor stand, and I'm going to send off to my son. That's looking back. So I got all the radio stuff out there pretty much boxed up for now. So Joanne got her second COVID shot today over at Microsoft. So that was nice. I get mine on 24th, I think it is. So that'll be good. Then we can get back into the world. So Richard, can you put Jessica on through the grand stream so people can see her? I don't know if you got set up to do that or not, but anyway. All right, back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU. We got you, and let's see, I'm hearing Gary, K7HYB has checked in. James, WU7N has checked in. So let's go to Jessica, KS7UHK.
I saw a funny thing on Rick Steve's the other day. I was watching, and they were talking about the pharaohs and how these tombs were were raided often, and they thought that the pharaohs were going to go to heaven and take along their goods with them, their goods things. And Rick Steves says, but pharaohs were one after another getting to heaven and finding out they had nothing because people had robbed their tombs. So with that, I'm thinking, Ron, you can't take it all with you. Think about, the next. But too bad we don't have a nice ham meet where you can sell this stuff, or or a nice garage sale where people got to come over and take a look at your things. Hardline, all this stuff. That's all we got for you right now. This is Jessica, KS7, UHK.
KS7, UHK, thanks for that, Jessica. Let's go to Bert, M7CS.
Okay, let's see. Let me switch over my grant agreement, and I should be coming in there in just a second. And let's see. Am I going to appear yet? Well, I thought I clicked the button. Did I not click the save? Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Impossible Burgers, Wade. Yeah, I've had some of those before. Although it's been a few months now, but yeah, they're pretty good. I think if you're not paying attention, you probably can't even tell the difference. I think only if you're paying attention to, like, in detail what you're eating, or you just had a regular beef burger right before that you'd be able to know. And, let's see. Oh, and speaking of vaccines, I heard that the state of Alaska has now opened the vaccine up to everyone who's over 16 years old. But I think we're still at 50 years old or something like, or 55 in Washington State here. But anyway, this is Bert Marshall, M7CS. Back to that.
M7CS, thanks for that. Let's go to Gary, K7HYZ.
I'm K7HYB. Audio only tonight. I have a project on the bench that's too heavy to move. And means I had to disassemble the damn thing and put it aside, put the computer up, turn everything on, so I just decided it wasn't worth the trouble. Good news, my wife and I got our shots yesterday. I went out to Snohomish, to the Hagen Food store out there, and we even have an appointment for our next shot, so we're both doing well, no particular problems. And I have no idea what the temperature is out here, but I probably figure it's probably in the high 30s, something like that. It was really cold last night. Got down into the high 20s. It was really frosty. So anyway, that's all I got from this go around. I'm trying to figure out what my next priority is. I need to make several buys here over the next couple of weeks to get some things done and try to decide where I'm going to put my money. So anyway, one item that is on the top of the list is the digital decoder. But it's probably pretty well down to the point where I won't be buying it right away. Anyhow, back to you, Dave, and good evening all. I think I'll say my 73 at this point. I just thought to drop in and let you know I was alright. And I've been doing some pulsing, and I can switch the repeater reliably. So if it comes to that, I'll be more than happy to help out. K7HYM, K7HYB.
K7HYB, let's go on to Bob, K9PQ.
Okay, well, I'm not even going to switch myself in. Yeah, I do have a problem here. It appears that it's something between my connectivity between my A10 mini output, video output, which goes to the HDMI to analog converter and then onto the grand stream. Somewhere in that linkage, it's not linking. And so the HDMI converter is seeing something. It appears that it's seeing that there's no signal and it's putting out the bars that I think you saw the last time around. So see if I can get this straightened out. I did an overhaul on my office here, and I made some big audio changes that do seem to be working, but what I thought would be no change at all, was intended to be no change at all to my video, somehow is not working. So I'll get back to you on that. K9PQ, back to that.
K9PQ, let's go on to Richard, K7ATS.
Okay, well, I switched myself already on, but don't see it coming across Grand Stream quite yet. Maybe I don't know. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's just, what do we call it, latency? There you go. That's what we call it. So, let's see. So today, March 10th, is K7ITY. It's her birthday. So she happened to have a follow-up yesterday. I took her to her cardiologist's office at St. Joseph's complex over in Tacoma. And, that's Wade's employer. What do you know? Anyway, well, I guess wherever that cardiology clinic isn't actually in the hospital itself. But it is Franciscan, that's for sure. So, I think for sure memory is in pretty rough shape. But we went there for a follow-up to pacemaker was replaced last week. And so even with a bad memory, the nurse comes out, calls her name, and my mom looks at it and goes, "You look awfully familiar." And, remember my mom, my mom's 89, of course I just said that. But the nurse goes, "Well, you should remember me. We used to work together." They used to work together it must have been 40 years ago, 45 years ago. And so that was pretty cool. That even my mom with a bad memory can remember people from... Well, I think that might be the thing. You remember things from a long time ago. And then, as we were leaving, so we made an appointment for next year. She doesn't have to go back for a whole year because the pacemaker's got a bedside monitor hooked directly to the hospital in the doctor's office. So that means I don't have to take her back as much as I did before. So, hey, we're setting up next year's appointment. It just seemed weird. And the next year's appointment was just like yesterday, Wednesday, March 9th, except 2022. And that just struck me, it's quite unusual, to have exactly the same day and date exactly 1 year later. And my mom's ITY says, tomorrow, March 10th, that's my birthday. I'll be 90. I go, wait a minute. 90, you're 21 years older than me, and I'm 68. And so that makes you 69, and everyone's kind of looking at it, and she goes, at least I knew there was a 9 in there somewhere. So anyway, it was pretty fun, and that's kind of comical, and, so what can I tell you, I guess we'll have to wait for next year for her to be 90, so there you go. KD7ZIM, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, and again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine on stage KD7ZYM. Let's go to Wade, W7ATS.
Alright guys, I'm trying to get Paul switched over here. I'm trying to figure all this stuff out here. It's interesting to hear the stories tonight.
my text up while I'm doing my video. So, yeah, great comment about the Incredible Burger. I really like them. It's really hard to tell the difference between a real burger and an Incredible Burger, which is another odd thing about that is when they cook, they look identical as well. They have a little pool of oil and kind of like fake blood. It's like I think it's made out of beet juice. And so it looks just like a burger when it's cooked on a grill. Let's see. Richard, I didn't catch it, but were you talking about your mother? And it sounded like her call sign ended in ITY. I didn't get the first part. But that's interesting that you guys almost share the same call sign. And it's funny how she can remember things from the past and not the future, or the current time, not future. Let's see. And I think that's it for this round for me, W7ITL. Back to that. Let's go to Jen, N720.
Let's see. Dick, happy birthday to the young lady, please. And speaking about memory and age, wow, that is really unusual. Some people are not afflicted at all, and some are. My mother did not know who I was for about the last 2 years of her life. Her mind somehow went back to a time before she was married and before she had me. It's really odd. She could tell you who she dated in high school, but she could not tell you like that she was ever married or that she had me. And Lord knows she put up with me for a long time. Sorry, Mom. Oh well. So I don't know, probably I might be genetically predisposed to that. Let's see. Gary, if you're still listening, congratulations on that. At least you got an appointment. You're on the road there. That's good. Let's see. Wade and Burt, Impossible Burger. You know, I saw that meat advertised, or I saw it for sale in a store somewhere. I don't remember where it was. Was it at Costco? But my wife doesn't really want to cook that up in the house, even with our George Foreman grill. And I'm just not doing much of anything outside as of yet. I'm having some problems. But anyway, yeah, I've seen that advertised, and there is some fast food place that has it. It's someplace where there's not anything near my house. Don't quote me, but is it maybe Burger King that has them? Anyway, someplace has an Impossible Burger that you can actually buy, a fast food place. Just in case anyone's interested. K7ZYM and 7KO.
N7QO, let's go to James, WW7ATS.
Good evening. Thank you for running that tonight, Dave. Yeah, the thing with the how old are you? I heard an interesting interchange recently where someone said, well, it's a math problem. If a lady is 10 years old and her little brother is 6 years old, then how old is her little brother when she's 80? And the answer came back, well, he's 40 years old. I went, no, I think there's a fundamental missing of the concept here with the word problem. But, you know, it's best sometimes to have conversations just to move on to the next topic. And, yeah, I heard Alaska had dropped their vaccine age down to 16, and I think that might be because of their native population up there is very vulnerable, so that would be a good reason to do that. Some of those little villages up there, I think they have saved themselves by just saying nobody comes in, nobody comes out. I wouldn't want to try and break that quarantine, and you might become polar bear food. let's see, the other comment I heard is are you genetically predisposed to losing your memory? I don't know. I guess there is a genetic element to that, but there's so much new information coming in pertaining to things like, diet and exercise and don't drink alcohol. But then when I found out it was don't drink alcohol, you are supposed to exercise and you are supposed to eat right, then I got worried. So I guess I'll just take it 1 year at a time. So anyway, that's it for me for this round. This is James WW7ATS in Northeast Bellevue. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back to our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Take it away, Dave.
Thanks for that, James. This is Dave, KD7CYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. Well, I'm a carnivore, so when it comes to meat, I think I'll go with that original Wendy's line that they used many years ago. Where's the beef? Where's the meat? When it comes to a burger. So that's my idea with that. So anyway, and then I got a kick out of Bob. Seems like things were going amok with his switching. And I think in the industry in broadcasting, we used to always say the switcher isn't shaking hands with the server. Well, I think they really should have had the verbiage, we're not switching any video for some reason. That was their terminology, that the server wasn't shaking hands. Well, anyway, let's get back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave. This is Ron, KD7QKU. Well, Wade, I'm interested in that Incredible Burger. Is that something that you bought at the grocery store, and then did you cook it at home? That's kind of what I think happened. I guess I wasn't listening real close. So, sounds like something that my wife would like. So, they might sell something like that at Costco. Or maybe they sell something like that at every store. And Burger King could have the Impossible. I do remember somebody was advertising the Impossible Burger, but I haven't tried one. But I think I'd like it. So let's see. The other thing is, I got my Grand Stream. I ordered it the other night, right after Bert, I guess, sent me the Amazon address, and I bought it right away. So I have that now. So maybe when I get moved, I can hook it up. So, let's see, what else? 40 degrees here. There was no frost this morning. We had fog up until probably about 10 o'clock, and then the sun broke through. I was talking to my friend in Linwood. He had sun all morning, but we didn't. We had fog. The last couple of mornings, for some reason, the cat, I noticed that Bert had his cat a minute ago. Our cat been getting up on the head of the bed, and the head of the bed is flat, and I have a rocker switch up there that turns this light on, fluorescent light on that's above the bed. So 2 o'clock in the morning, for some reason, the cat walks across that, and the light comes on. 2 mornings in a row, and then I wake up and I have a hard time going back to sleep. Darn. So I sure hope she doesn't come in the morning and step on that rocker switch. So I guess that's about all I have. So tell me, Wade, about that Incredible Burger if you barbecued it at home. Back to that KD7QKU.
KD7QKU. Let's go on to Jessica, KS7UHK.
I used to have this cat that we named Fat Cat, and it was fat, and it liked to jump up on the bed next to me after we went to bed, and usually my arm is like right up to the edge of the bed, and the cat would jump up and of course hook my arm with his claws and grapple itself up onto the bed, and that was always not very fun. I still have little scars on my arm from that cat. I love the cat, but it was like, come on, kitty cat. Can't you just jump up at the end of the bed where my feet are and not like grapple over my arms? So I'm making some meal tonight, and I'm having shrimp along with peppers, shallots, bacon, and then along with this put it all on top of a sweet potato. And that's going to be our dinner tonight. Should be put any restrictions on the rest of us. Thank you. This is from WW7ATS. You're talking about doing something 1 year and then something the next year, and then, there. I think you should, We want to not be restricted. We're just going to go crazy. It's COVID-19 time. KF7, yes, Jack.
KF7, UHK. Let's go on to pit N7CS.
Okay, let's see what we got going on now. It says way you can switch over to Grand Stream if it's not there already. And there I am. Okay, thanks. Probably a little latency on the YouTube stream. Going through my notes here. Ron, it's Burger King that has the Impossible Burgers. And there's another company too called Beyond Meat, and I think McDonald's recently got into a contract with them maybe, but it's probably going to be a while before they start offering that. But pretty soon, all the different fast food joints are either going to have like the Impossible Burgers or the Beyond Meat Burgers. But let's see. Speaking of cats and lights and beds, so on my bed I have like one of those touch-sensitive lamps that sits next to it on the night table, and our cats have figured out that if they go and like rub up against it, they turn it on. So they do that every weekend morning. We're like waiting, we're in bed late. The cat will come up there and turn the lights on so that it forces us to wake up. I guess that's better than like jumping on us and clawing at our face. So they just figured out how to turn on the lights. Richard, interesting to know that your mother was a ham radio operator. I don't think I'd known that before. If that was what you were saying, that's a case of ITY. Okay, that's probably good for now. This is Bird and Marysville, N7CS, back to that.
N7CS, let's go to Bob, K9PQ.
Okay, well, forgive me, I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the net tonight because I'm frantically trying to get this problem fixed. I'm now suspecting my HDMI to analog converter because they're cheap, and I've had one go bad on me already, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's happened again, and I can't think of anything else that might be the issue. So I'm looking for other solutions. I'm looking actually, frankly, for something that will do what the GrandStream does, but with an HDMI input. And I'm at the GrandStream website, and they don't show that directly, but maybe I'll come up with something. Okay, I'll send it back to that K9PQ.
K9PQ, let's go on to Richard, K7ITX.
Let's see. Maybe I'll be able to pipe in Jessica and any of those who need to be piped in through GrandStream. I just don't have the AB switching business yet, but that should be in our near future. So, Wade, thanks for you got double-breasted duty tonight, it looks like, and you're doing a great job, so thanks for that. And, I got the same issue, Ron and Bert, you guys have, of course, seen Nika several times, and but the problem is, if it's in the morning or in the middle of the night. Our dog Pippa, Rat Terrier, likes to get, gets in our bed and gets way under the covers, way down by where our feet are. So, it's really, it doesn't bother us at all. And I don't know, I think those kind of dogs like to live in caves anyway. But the problem is the cat knows this. And Nika will come in at all hours of the night or morning and just start walking around on top of the bed while everyone is asleep, and I think actually takes enjoyment and relishes in walking on top of the dog, which doesn't go over very well. In fact, it turns into a big conundrum. It's just a riot going on in the middle of our bed when we're trying to sleep. I don't know. That's retired.
environment, you know, when you've got animals for kids. and they don't get along. Well, they get along, but not like that. Well, you know, it's like, the little brother pulling the sister's braids. That's really kind of what it's boiled down to with Mika and Pippa in the middle of the night waking us up. So, way to go, everyone. KD7ZYM and K7ITX back to that control.
K7ITX, and again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave ID. On the wave, let's go to wave W7ITL.
This is W7ITL. There we go. I am on the screen now. Let's see here. I've got only one screen, so I have to use all of my little thing here to kind of get my notes in the same frame. So to answer Ron's question about the Incredible Burgers, I got the meat from Costco, and let me see, I'll share the screen and I'll show you. And there it is. It comes in 1 pound packs, and we cooked up one of those packs tonight. Just turn them into regular patties, and then go down to normal like a regular hamburger. Let's see, anything else to talk about notes? That's great to hear about the vaccines that everybody's getting on board with. I'm just trying to find a note that I had. Who just got their first shot, but congrats to whoever that was. And let's see, I don't think I have anything more for this round, so I'm just going to listen. W7ITL.
W7ITL, let's go on to Jen, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, you folks and your cats. Okay, I have a story here. A number of us fellows get together and have been doing so for a number of years. Of course, I was unable to do so if I'm out of town on a trip, but whenever we would get together for lunch. So those who are retired are there pretty much every day, and it goes down from there. But one day, one of our group walked in with this big gash on his forehead, and we're like, Carl, what happened? And he's telling us the story about his cat that got him. Above the headboard on his bed, he has a window, and so there's a windowsill, and on the windowsill he keeps his clock radio. Well, sure enough, the cat decides to go jump up on the windowsill and knock his clock radio into his forehead and got blood while the poor guy's there sound asleep. He said, "Oh, the cat's never done that before." Well, I guess that was the first time for everything. So, I don't know, Dick, cats walking on the blanket, that's one thing, but at least they didn't kabong you on the noggin with the clock radio. Bert, we saw your cat for just a second or two. You held it up, looks uninterested, let me put it that way. Thanks for that anyway. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, let's go to James, WW7ATS.
Well, thank you, Dave. This is James, W7N Northeast W. My cat story is I had a friend who had 2 cats, and they were training him and his wife by jumping up at like 4 and 5 a.m. and jumping around and yelling on the bed that it was time to wake up. So how they solved this is when this happened, they would each pick up a cat, go down to the basement where they had cat carriers, very roomy cat carriers. They would put the cats in what they called cat jail. and they would put them in there and then go back to bed. And these are very intelligent animals. They learn very quickly, like within 2 or 3 mornings of this, that if they came up at 5 a.m. in the morning, they spent the next 3 hours in cat jail, and they didn't like that, so they didn't do that anymore. So I don't know. I've always been of the opinion that if you don't train the pets train you, and that's okay as long as it doesn't involve insomnia. But I can certainly, you got the best of all. The cat that's learned how to turn on a light. That was amazing. By rubbing on it. I've had some problems with trying to train people to turn on things. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on who you work with. And the unique stories are incredible. I do recall one of my assignments in the 1980s was to Lebanon, and most of the country was unlivable, but just in sort of a defiance of it all. There was a burger place in the northern part of Beirut, and they were serving something in between 2 hamburger buns. I don't know what it was, but it was allegedly some sort of vegetarian thing. I don't know. Maybe it was, round up people from the other side of town. I'm not sure. But it was just awful. It was just terrible. I mean, I went there once and ate there, and I said, okay, the MREs are better than this. But I guess it was just kind of a symbolic thing that, hey, we still got a burger joint that works in the middle of this wreckage. So maybe that's sort of dysfunction. Anyway, so I guess with that, I will turn it back to you, Dave. This is James, WW7N, and Northeast W. Really good picture coming off the hill tonight. I was having some audio problems. Maybe they were at my end, but I was able to change my discriminator and get here just fine. So thank you all for participating tonight. Dave, take it away.
Thanks for that, James, WU7N. Man, this is Dave, 87CYM. Well, let's see, cattail. I was pet studying down in Arizona, and I went to see, they had 3 cats and 1 dog. So basically for the cats to feed them in the morning, all you had to do is say, food, 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 and the cats would come running, and they'd devour the food in 3 different dishes. But 1 cat didn't come, and I was wondering, where in the world did the cat go? So I'm all looking through the house, I can't find the cat. The cat had worked itself underneath a cover that was on the couch, and it got in from the bottom of the couch and underneath the covering, and was in that area. So finally I had to extricate the cat and bring it out, and it ate, and it went right back under the covers again. So it just liked hiding under the covers on the couch. So I knew where to look for it the next time. So it was a bit of shocking. I thought, oh my gosh, I've lost a cat when I'm supposed to be pet studying. Anyway, that was my cat story. So let's go back up. We've got time for Ron, 87 QKU.
Okay, so those stories are pretty cute. Yes, KD7 QKU here. Oh, it's down to 39 degrees now. I don't know if it's going to frost tonight or not. It sure was a beautiful day. So let's see. I don't have a whole lot tonight. I'm enjoying being able just to listen and watch. Not have to try to decide what I'm going to do next. So anyway, I guess I'm just going to turn it on back and enjoy the rest of the night here. So this will be probably my 73 round. So 73 everybody, and real nice full Saturday night. 87 QKU.
K87 QKU. Let's go to Jessica, KF7, UHQ.
One of my cat stories is we had this black cat named Ninja, little thin, little black cat, the little male cat. And when time around 4th of July, it disappeared. And we couldn't find it, and started getting really worried because this cat was normally around, but it was kind of skitterish. So every day going to work, we'd look for black spots on the road going to the freeway and back, and look for, we stop and is this our cat? Nope, that's not our cat, this is something else. So I called up the pound, folks who pick up animals and stuff. I said, is it possible that my cat could be stuck in a tree? And the person on the other end of the phone said, well, you never find dead cats in trees. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess I guess that kind of tells you something that I never really thought about. It's like, well, that kind of gives a whole new logic to a thing. And the cat showed up. It was next door underneath the next door neighbor's back deck, and it was just fine. But that's my cat story. KF7UHK.
KF7UHK. Thanks for that. Let's go on to Bert. KF7CS.
Okay, well, I think the net took a little bit of a dark turn there with the discussion of people burgers and dead cats and trees or something, but yeah, I guess this would be my 73 round as well. The only thing I did, Bob, I sent you an email a little bit earlier tonight. Corey was able to help get the email redirection thing set up, so I set up an email, info@WW7ATS.net, that will forward to my personal email account, so that way we can potentially put that email address up on the website and not have to worry about putting any of our personal email addresses on the website. And we can always change who that forwards to if we need to in the future. Anyway, that's it for me. 73 all. This is Burton Marysville. N7CS, back to that.
N7CS. Thanks for that. Let's go on to Bob, K9PQ.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you, Bert. And second of all, I think I'm glad I haven't been paying close attention to the net if it took a dark turn. I did listen to Catch Two Things, the Impossible Burger, which I have not tried. But I was vegetarian for a year and a half while I was trying to deal with some digestive issues I was having, and you could get used to the veggie burgers, but they never tasted like a real burger, and I have heard really, really good things about this Impossible Burger. And tonight, probably the best thing I've heard yet, that unless you're comparing it directly, you're not even going to know that it's not a real burger. The other thing I heard was somebody mentioning that the age has been reduced to 55 in this state, maybe, for getting shots. That's news to me. I'm going to go find out and see if I can get my shots. When I went out to the state website the last time, it was a few weeks ago, they said, no, it's not, you don't qualify yet. And they didn't exactly say why. I had some conditions that I thought might qualify me, even though I wasn't 65, which was the age at that time. So we'll just see. I'll see if see if maybe I qualify now. Okay, well, 73 everybody, and I did, I'm going to take this experimentation a little bit further. I found on Amazon a device that will do IP encoding directly from an HDMI input rather than having to make the switch to analog video first, and we'll see how that works out. I'm hoping that's going to be a good substitute for the grand stream. Back to net control, K9PQ.
K9PQ, let's go to Richard, K7ITS.
Okay, well, just to bring a couple of you guys up to speed as far as my mom, K7ITY, her call sign. So it's really my call sign, K7ITX, so it was my dad. My mom and my dad got their call signs exactly at the same time. They took the test, that was probably in 1958, McCord Air Force Base is when you had to take where you took your novice exam, and so they were KN7ITY and KN7ITX. And then to just kind of shorten up the story a little bit, the weird thing about all of this, and maybe many of you guys know this though, that K7ITX, the original K7ITX and K7ITY, who's still alive, they were born on the same month and day, just 1 year apart. So they always confused me as a kid. How could they possibly have the same birthday on exactly the same day? Well, I guess anything's possible, and it's often all the results of a blind date.
And then, to make things even more confusing, after my dad passed away, and I decided, you don't have to have a novice ticket anymore to get your technician. So I thought, geez, I sure learned a lot over the years. So, I guess it was about 5 years ago, 6 or 7 years, I kind of lost track now. I took the exam and got technician. I was KG7OQL. But then I thought, gee whiz, God, wouldn't it be cool to get my general, just like Dad, and then get his call sign and kind of take over his call sign. So I proceeded to do that. 30 days later, I had my general, and then signed up for his call sign. But I screwed up somehow, and ARRL called me on the phone today, messed up, you're going to have to do it over again. I thought, okay. So I did. I sent in another $15, and so I started tracking when I would become K7ITX. And it just blew my mind. I was in California, down by where ITY lives, and on March 10th, today, my call sign switched over from OQL to K7ITX. It was just blew my mind. And then there were a couple of weird little stories in between, but we don't have all night. It involved another separate call sign with TIT, my dog's name, and it was just all a confusing mess. And then to have it all finalized on March 10th, on my dad's birthday, my mom's birthday, it's just too bizarre. But a lot of fun, great hobby. So, 73 everyone, I'll pass along, KD7ZYM, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, well, let's see, we're down to the final, so let's go to Wade, W7ITL. This is W7ITL, let's see if I can switch. Let's see if I can get my stuff up now. There we go. Well, very interesting indeed. It has been a very interesting night. All those stories have been wonderful. Particularly just dumbfounded by the coincidence on the call sign story by his mom, about Richard's mom and dad having off by one digit, and then he got a general ticket, and he got a vanity call sign the same today, which is really cool. And then cat stories. We have a cat in our household that likes to hide. Not so much anymore, but we find him in the weirdest spots. Before we found out where he was hiding, we actually found he was hiding in our ceiling, because we have an open crawl space up in our attic, on our attic in my second floor, because we're still doing construction, and he was hiding in there, and it was really hard to get him out of there. With that said, I think I'm going to call this a night and say 73 to everybody, and I'll talk to you guys on the afternet, and alright, back to that, Dave. Thanks.
W7ITL, Wade, thanks for joining us. And again, we'd like to thank the owners and operators of the 08 machine for letting the Western Washington Amateur Television Society utilize it for our voice channel for our nets held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, I'm Dave, KD7ZYM, signing off of the 08 repeater at 9 o'clock. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM. Good evening all.
K7QJ disconnected.